40M, with a 35 female cheating wife, screenshots of texts on my profile story, next steps. So my wife had been acting different and I decided to investigate. Little backstory: she likes to go out with her girlfriends and be out to 2 a.m., which is no big deal. We lack a babysitter, so I tend to stay home and take care of our daughter. I've been putting her to bed since she was 2 months old, 21 months now. Anyway, we went out for a date night and she was just acting weird. She ended up staying out and I went home around midnight. I decided to look at her phone and saw these text messages. I can't think of any sort of explanation where this isn't cheating, but wanted to see people's thoughts and what excuses she might give. P.S. One of the messages talks about how she's out with her hubby. That's what clued me into this. She was talking about staying out later and going to another bar, and I said okay, I will go, and she spent the next 20 minutes making excuses why it wasn't necessary. You also see where she texts and like he's leaving. Sorry, they aren't in order. I am torn because divorce means I will be lucky to see my daughter even 50% of the time, which is BS. I make a ton of money, I don't do drugs, stable, barely drink, and I'm going to get punished for all this. The update is the fiancé found out and texted my wife. I am wondering if I should contact her and ask her to keep my knowledge a secret and we share what we know. I know this poor girl is a victim as well, but I am a little worried she might lash out and be like your husband knows just to get a dig in. Contact a lawyer, prepare your leaving, financially and administration. Ask for more custody if you wanted it, like a 70/30, and when everything will be ready, contact the poor fiancé. Like that she will have the time to do what she wants without ruining your divorce surprise. When your wife will ask questions, don't respond any of them, just told her to talk to your lawyer. Talk to a lawyer ASAP. If your wife is cheating, go talk to an attorney. Document her outings as proof she trusts you with your child's care. Do whatever the lawyer tells you to do. If you want to salvage the marriage, set reasonable boundaries and expectations for marital counseling, but keep the divorce papers in your back pocket. With what you provided, it does sound like cheating. I would be most concerned with gathering your own evidence. Take screenshots of messages and have conversations with your spouse over this recorded message or text. Conduct yourself in a calm manner in these messages, as they may be used in your case. I would contact a lawyer ASAP. Custody for men can go well. Just have your ducks in a row and prove yourself to be the safe and smart choice for custody. If you don't want a divorce, still have a paper trail, and communicate your boundaries moving forward and with marriage counseling. Update: called the fiancé. You will see your kids often. Life as a single mom sucks. It's nothing like the movies or TV. She'll be more exhausted, have less free time. Men her age are angry, divorced, and financially broke. No man wants to raise another's kids. Her dating will consist of a carry-out pizza and a home movie with a loser, followed by transactional STV. Wife, 23F, cheated on husband, 28M. How'd I let it go? Wife, 23F, cheated on husband, 28M. How'd I let it go? My wife cheated on me and I can't get the picture out of my head. I need some clarity on methods to change this picture. I really love her and we have a child together. I grew up in a broken house where my father was abusing my mother and never want that for my child, as it didn't just hurt me but made my whole child life a mess. Our relationship has been good ever since I met my wife and I just cannot see reasons for what happened. So let me get to the story, but I will try to explain it in words that doesn't make a book of 400 pages. Throughout the struggles in life as a parent, we always aim for the best for our children no matter what. So I lost my work due to retrenchment last year, and one needs money for life, so I applied for multiple vacancies and no luck at all, but there was this one job that was available, but it's overseas. I didn't want to go really. I cried at night when everyone was sleeping, as this is almost like going to jail for me, but the finances needed. So after long planning and tears, I left in December with a heart broken to know it's going to be some time I am going to be away from my wife and kid. First 2 weeks passed and on Christmas Eve I tried to contact my wife to say blessings to all at home and everything was nice, they had a feast. So I relaxed a bit. Although I am broken, I am not there. At least she and my boy is enjoying time at her mother's. Her mother and father had friends over as well to join the feast. These friends 20 years plus older than my wife. They knew her since baby time. They even took care of her when she was a baby and younger. The guy told everyone she was like a little sister to him. So later that night on Christmas Eve they took my wife home and had a threesome. She phoned me 1 in the morning crying her eyes out, saying that she fucked up. Now I immediately came back home. Earliest flight was 7 days later. When I came back, my biggest worry was my child. Is he okay? She had suicidal thoughts and acts. She was a wreck and I needed to breathe myself but couldn't once get a second to do so, and it still feels that way. I moved so far away from there to prevent myself doing something to that couple that will cause me never seeing my kid grow up. It's a mess in my mind, although I try to be sane. How do I get this out of my head? My wife can't understand that. After that I am so. We don't talk about it. I am too scared to do so. Any advice please? Can you really move past this? Can you really continue sleeping with a person that on top of being emotionally unstable went out and had a threesome with people 20 plus years older than her? Can your relationship really be the same after that? Unless you're okay with being married to a person who cheated once and can possibly do it again, I doubt it. Go to court, get custody advice from a lawyer and move on. I will never understand people who get cheated on and still try hard to find a reason to stay. I would have thrown the entire thing away and just worry about the well-being of my child. Jesus, love yourself. You left and she didn't even make it a month without cheating? Is that the relationship you want to model for your family? Would you want your son to be with a partner who would do to him what your wife did to you? I wish there were an easy fix I could help you with. The truth is that there really is only one way to really deal with hurtful emotions, and that is to confront them, to let yourself feel them and to accept them. That's the only way to be free of them. Even then, it doesn't mean that you forget or that you will able to stand the situation that you are in. Reading your story, I don't know where you can find a safe place mentally to do that. Do you have anyone that you can trust and feel safe with? This really is a thing for a therapist or a counselor if you can find help. Edit. Whatever you do, don't turn to drugs or alcohol. They tend to be a temporary relief that makes everything worse. Is this fake? This story is a bit incoherent. Hi. Cheating, it's always painful and hard to heal the wounds quickly. Does your wife accept the fact that she is wrong, and is she willing to change the situation and save your marriage? Do her parents know? If they're friends who've known your wife since she was a babe, they could offer some insight perhaps? Her parents didn't bat an eye at them taking your wife back to their place? BF, 24 male, said some gross shit to me, 23 male, when our relationship was rough. Should I just leave? Well, my boyfriend and I, 23 female, typo in title, have been in a rough patch at the moment and we were going to end it. Context. We've been going out for 5 years and mostly it has been fine. First love for both of us and we're just young and trying to work it out. Anyways, his stressors with life have been over the top and as a result I have been the person who he has been letting it out on. Every time I try to bring up any sort of issues I am felt that I am the problem and I should not be giving him any more stress and frustration during this time in his life. I feel he has had a completely change in personality as he has become irritable, frustrated, angry and overall lacks patience. His family can see a difference and so can I know that possible stress, medications, ADHD, might factor into his behavioral changes. Anyways, we had 2 options. 1. Go on a no-contact break for a couple weeks to reflect on our actions and words. Break equals still together, still have boundaries of not seeing others during this time. 2. Break up. Going back and forth on whether or not to break up or go on a break was a conversation that led to him saying some shit that I was a bit shocked to hear. After saying we were going to break up, he said, "Don't come crying back to me if I've cheated and it's only been 2 weeks. I have needs as a man. If we're on a break, then you are my needs." Totally shocked by that comment. I just said, if we break up I ain't coming back, lol. I also pointed out that maybe he should have some self-respect and he said, "I will use my body how I want to." I get breakups are fucked and people show their true colors, but I opted to go on a break because of potential factors that could be contributing to his actions. I know what he said was fucked up and OFC when I bring it up to him after our reflective time apart and he thinks that is okay to say I will not be staying around. It made me feel like he is just using me for sex. Part of me is hoping that all his life stressors and possible side effects from medication is making him into this person I don't know. It's hard because my heart doesn't want to leave but my head knows it's probably the right thing to do. Edit. Thank you to all the people who took time to respond and give me their pieces of advice. I've read it all and it seems there is just a bit of confusion, so I just wanted to make it clear that his intentions to cheat on a break is not what he said. A break for us is that we're still together. The point of this break is to reflect and understand what we truly want to change about ourselves and the relationship. He said if we broke up and ended the relationship that I can't come crying back if I found out he did see someone within the first 2 weeks because a man has needs. Imagine being with someone for 6 years only for them to say this shit to you right at the end. It hurts and pains me. I'd just break up. Instead of talking about how he'd take the time to reflect, the whole point of a break, he said he's going to see other people. What the point of a break then? Just end it now. If I see one more post someone using an ADHD diagnosis to be an AH, I'll go nuts. That is zero to do with it. He's just a PRK. Just stay gone and meet someone nice. I always think if you got a post about it you already know the answer. Just break up. Nobody who cares about you would speak to you like that. Better off without. I will always advocate for the fact that being single is much happier and less stressful than being in a relationship where you aren't respected. He's gross. Break up. Never excuse someone choosing to take their frustrations out on you. My 26M girlfriend, 28F, had another guy's name and address on her Amazon account. Is this shady? I, 27M, have been dating my GF, 28F, for about 11 months. One night she texted me a picture of her Amazon checkout cart to show a book she was buying, and it was her account with the delivery address to another man's location. She deleted the picture within a minute of sending, but I had already saw it. I had called her and respectfully asked for the truth and said I'm not angry but I just want to understand. I was told that she deleted the picture right away because she knew what my reaction would be. She was super short and deflective, saying this man was just a friend, and said it feels like I'm interrogating her. She then told me that I'm just someone who prefers over-communication and is too detail-oriented. I am thinking about breaking up with her over this as she continues to double down and deflect. Yeah, her reaction is super shady. I was about to play devil's advocate and say it could have been something innocent like an address she forgot to delete from a past relationship, but her reaction means it's something more. Also, the fact she never explained herself would make me believe it's cheating. If it was just a friend, she wouldn't delete the picture. She's just explained, whatever the reason was, that she has his address in her Amazon. Her deflecting and turning into the victim is just a confirmation of your suspicions. Innocent people don't act suspicious. No one hides, just a friend. You already know the answer to this. Well, did she offer a reasonable explanation of why she was having the book delivered to that address? If it was nothing, she would have A, not deleted the picture, and or B, would have given a normal explanation rather than trying to gaslight you into thinking it's your fault you saw this dude's name. On the other hand, devil's advocate, maybe she was genuinely worried about your reaction, and maybe it's just an old address still in her account from someone she used to date.